WBRD Wednesday Morning Food Desk. The Great Prego Conspiracy, Your Bliss Point, and the possibility that your brain has been outsourced. Good Wednesday morning from the WBRD Food Desk, where the Fun Bunch Research Division has uncovered evidence that your favorite snack, your favorite pasta sauce, and possibly your entire grocery cart may have been engineered by people who understand your brain better than you do. And it all starts with a jar of Prego. For decades, many of us walked past Prego pasta sauce and assumed it was simply cheap spaghetti sauce. College food, emergency dinner food, the stuff your parents bought when nobody felt like making homemade gravy. Turns out, Prego may have been one of the most influential products in modern food history. Not because of tomatoes, because of psychology. Back in the 1980s, Campbell's Soup hired a scientist named Howard Moskowitz to figure out why pasta sauce sales weren't growing fast enough. The food industry at the time believed there was one perfect recipe, one perfect spaghetti sauce, one perfect mustard, one perfect cereal, one perfect everything. The mission was simple: find the recipe everybody likes, sell it to everybody, collect money. Howard had a different idea. Instead of asking people what they wanted, he started measuring what they actually liked. He built 45 different versions of pasta sauce, some sweeter, some spicier, some thicker, some thinner, some smooth, some chunky. Thousands of people tasted them. What he discovered changed the grocery store forever. There wasn't one perfect pasta sauce. There were several. People naturally split into groups. Some wanted smooth, some wanted spicy, some wanted sweeter, and an entire group of people absolutely loved extra chunky sauce. The shocking part? The food industry didn't even know those people existed. Nobody had asked the right questions. Consumers never demanded chunky sauce, yet when they tasted it, they loved it. The extra chunky version alone would eventually generate hundreds of millions of dollars in sales. At that moment, Moskowitz realized the future wasn't creating one perfect product. The future was creating multiple perfect products, one for each type of person. And just like that, the modern grocery store was born. Before Moskowitz, you had a handful of options. After Moskowitz, you had traditional, garden style, chunky garden, extra chunky, roasted garlic, Italian herb, 3 cheese, 4 cheese, 5 cheese, probably 12 cheese by now. The same thing happened to cereal, yogurt, coffee, chips, mustard, salad dressing. Every aisle exploded with choices. Not because food got better, because companies learned how to identify different tribes of eaters. The grocery store became a giant collection of engineered bliss points. And that's where things get really interesting. Moskowitz discovered something called the bliss point, the exact amount of sugar, salt, fat, texture, crunch, creaminess, and flavor where your enjoyment reaches its peak. Too little? You want more? Too much? You stop enjoying it. But right in the middle is a magical sweet spot where your brain keeps saying, one more bite, then another, and another, and another. The Fun Bunch refers to this as the point where common sense leaves the building. Now here's the really wild part. In nature, foods are generally one thing or another. An apple contains sugar, but very little fat. A steak contains fat, but almost no sugar. Fat and sugar rarely appear together naturally. There is one notable exception: breast milk, the very first food your brain was programmed to desire. For hundreds of thousands of years, finding fat and sugar together meant survival. It meant abundance. It meant eat as much as possible. There was no downside because those foods were incredibly rare. So your brain never developed a strong off switch. Then modern food scientists showed up, and they brought donuts, cookies, ice cream, snack cakes, every possible combination of fat and sugar your ancestors never had access to. Your brain still responds exactly as it did 100,000 years ago. The software hasn't been updated. The hardware is the same, only the inputs changed. Then the food scientists took things even further. Take a Cheeto. Researchers discovered that foods like Cheetos are designed to dissolve almost instantly in your mouth. A food scientist named Stephen Witherly called this phenomenon vanishing caloric density. The food literally disappears before your brain fully registers what happened. You are eating. Your brain thinks you barely ate. The evidence vanishes. Case closed. Then there's the 20-minute rule. Your stomach takes about 20 minutes to notify your brain that you're full. Nature never had a problem with this because real food takes time to chew and consume. Modern snacks are built differently: soft, crunchy, easy to swallow. Minimal chewing, maximum speed, which means before your body's stop eating message arrives, you've already consumed enough calories to fuel a small landscaping crew. And that's why many of us have experienced the following scientific phenomenon: open bag, eat a few chips, watch television, look down, bag gone, no witnesses, no suspects, no explanation. The Fun Bunch Research Department now suspects many of us aren't necessarily eating what tastes best. We're eating what was mathematically optimized to be irresistible. That's a very different thing. So the next time you're standing in the grocery store staring at 17 varieties of pasta sauce, 27 cereals, and enough chip flavors to fill a football stadium, remember, you're not looking at food. You're looking at decades of consumer psychology. You're looking at billions of dollars spent determining exactly what different people crave. You're looking at a supermarket built on data. And somewhere, Howard Moskowitz is probably smiling, because we all thought Prego was just cheap spaghetti sauce. Turns out it helped change civilization. WBRD Wednesday morning takeaway. 1. Eat real food whenever possible. 2. Never grocery shop hungry. 3. Be suspicious of foods that disappear before you can remember eating them. 4. Understand that if a product was designed by scientists, marketers, psychologists, and statisticians, you're probably not in a fair fight. 5. Remember that the pasta sauce aisle wasn't created by Italians. It was created by data. This is the WBRD Food Desk reminding you that your Bliss Point has already been calculated, formulated, packaged, and placed on sale this week. The only remaining question is, do you actually like the taste, or has your brain already voted for you? Have a great Wednesday. Fun Bunch.